Hello my friends. Welcome to Reddit Rabbit. Before we start, catch the rabbit at the bottom right corner, smash that subscribe button and leave a comment. Today I learned that an annual supply of bottled water for a person who consumes 8 glasses a day would cost approximately $200. The same amount of tap water would cost approximately 33 cents. This is the great mystery in Korea. Despite their tap water being perfectly safe to drink in most places, and cleaner than the rest of the world, almost everyone drinks bottled water. There's a huge stigma against drinking tap water cause they think they'd get sick. If you remind them that Korea actually has one of the most strict water treatment regulations in the world, they say they don't trust the government, contractors put to the job. They have some weird superstitious hang-ups for a developed nation that is a world leader in many categories. Don't get me started on fan death. A worry of getting sick from water could have more to do with how rapidly the country has developed. It could be something that parents just pass on to their kids with behavior due to having grown up in a different economic situation. Exactly. My sil is from Guatemala. My wife is from PR. Both of them know, intellectually, that their filtered well water is safe. Neither of them will drink tap water. They'll drink fridge water, which is the same thing. But I've never pointed it out, because I didn't want to ruin their fridge water. Where do they think the endless supply of fridge water comes from? Might just be their way of coping the anxiety. Sometimes the human brain isn't rational. Sometimes you get worried or afraid of something that you know on a logical level is totally safe. If they had an experience with bad water before, or if their friends, family did, it might be emotionally difficult to trust tap water even when the water is clean. But using fridge water may be helping them avoid that illogical fear they're having trouble shaking. While they likely know that both are basically the same, drinking the fridge water might help them avoid the anxiety they associate with tap water. So they probably know the two are basically the same. But my guess is that the fridge water feels is safer. I own a water distiller since I live in a city with extremely hard water. While I'm pretty sure that the water is safe to drink, it is extremely foul tasting and very few people actually drink it. The amount of crud found at the bottom of my distiller is impressive and smells foul. I had similar problems when I lived in another city. If you left a glass of water to sit, it'd develop a layer of sludge in the bottom like you dissolved a cracker in it. My current water is fine out of the tap, though. Used to refer to the water in Pomona, CA as Pomona Dairy cause it came out white from all yet in it. Peasants. I grew up in Flint, Michigan. I prefer to drink unleaded. When you get superpowers, you'll remember this comment. Bottled water seems quite inexpensive when you frame it as $200 a year. I was expecting it to be way more. It depends how you buy it. In bulk at the store $200. Start buying it at gas stations and it balloons fast. It is way more. Wikipedia source for this data is a 13-year-old study from 2007. I'm at $750 a year on bottled water just based on the Ozarks I buy at Hub each week. I have no clue where this bullet $200 number is coming from, but people had better drink more water. One of my friends just straight up does not drink water. He doesn't like the taste. What? Every day he drinks probably 3 Propels and a few Dr. Peppers. I'm sure his annual hydration cost is even worse. The amount of sugars in those drinks is awful for you. I used to drink a couple vitamin waters a day as a kid and I'm glad I don't have that habit anymore. But I've also replaced half my water consumption with coffee since then. Coffee is mostly water and not as bad as previously thought. It's the double-double that gets you. As long as you don't overload coffee with sugar, P. For the non-Canadians on here, double-double means 2 cream, 2 sugar. LOL thanks. I thought he meant a double-double from an N out. I spend about $60 on filters. Still less than the bottle's water. I also bring a refillable bottle with me everywhere. Plastic bottles are a convenience that I wouldn't need if I filled a bottle and put it in the fridge at the end of the day. Plus all the trash, carbon. That's gotta be around 1,000 plastic bottles per person annually. And now we know they aren't getting recycled. We have a filter at home and I use clean canteens and Nalgene's. I try to avoid bottles at all costs. A slightly off-topic thought, but it does seem kind of crazy that we flush our toilets with water that's good enough to drink. Some places don't, but they are mostly commercial or industrial. It's a hassle to have 2 water feeds and generally a city doesn't even have dual use feeds, or if they do they don't run them to households. I think they use salt water in Hong Kong. And it's often the same water here in BC, Canada. Furthermore, Nestle pays the Canadian government $3.71 per 1 million liters of groundwater. Let's say that again, Jert. You pay more at the store for 2 bottles of BC water than Nestle paid for 1 million liters. In the Netherlands, the price for our tap water is regulated at approximately €1 per cubic meter, or 1000 L of water. I rarely see people drinking flat bottled water and I can't remember when I last bought a bottle of water. The adoption of reusable bottles here has skyrocketed since some university students managed to make their bottle the fashionable item of the moment. Okay, this leads me to a question I've often wondered while watching American reality TV. Lockdown got me hooked on 90 Day Fiancé. Do Americans drink as much bottled water as they appear to do on TV? Like, do you drink bottled water at home? Or tap water? It's caught my eye and I was sorta curious. I haven't watched 90 Day Fiancé, but another thing to keep in mind is, do they show the logo prominently when drinking it? There is a chance that it is product placement. $200 is a better deal if you live in Flint. Better yet, use a proper filter. That way, the water will even be of better quality than the bottled water. How much do you spend on filters? Yeah, I buy one every 3 circa months. About $15 to $18 on Amazon. I buy 2 a year. The Brita 6-month filters. Britas are not the best filters by a long shot, but they are much better than nothing. LOL. Ever had tap water from West Virginia? I am reliably informed by John Denver that West Virginia is almost heaven, so presumably it is the nectar of the gods. Well, a few years ago it was flammable, so depending on the god you're correct, I guess. The tap water in my town has unsafe levels of arsenic. Did the arsenic frick up your Reiki? Unfortunately yes. My bottled water doesn't smell like chemicals, or have different taste at different times. The next town over, Collinsville, has had a perpetual problem with micro holes forming in copper pipe. Hundreds of tiny holes. You get misted when nearby. That's how small. Nobody believes it until they see it. I'm looking into water filters to rid my life of the one-use plastic. Not according to my water bill, it wouldn't. My tap water costs around $30 a month, and we don't even drink it due to the metal content. My tap water quality is absolutely bad. It has a really low quality grade. So bottled water or refrigerator water with a filter is absolutely needed. Yes, but the tap water where I live will frick your kidneys in less than 6 months, and a transplant plus follow-ups is around $35,000. Right? That math doesn't work for states with high levels of lead in the water, because that 33 cents would increase to astronomical numbers in medical bills later down the line. I live in Pool People Town and my tap spits out well water that tastes like rotten eggs poached in a copper pot. It was so bad that my Brita filter was going bad within a month. My solution was to buy a PR, in my opinion, dispenser, and it's been amazing. Tea hot and ice cold on demand, no harsh taste, no frequently replacing filters. Slightly over $1 per gallon. Not tap cheap, but cheaper than a case of bottles, and the 5-gallon jugs are exchanged for reuse. I still remember the 60 Minutes report years ago. They had bottled water and tap water in the different bottles. Mind you, NY tap water and the water snobs picked the tap water. As someone who really only drinks water, it blows my mind that there are people who don't enjoy it. I always have my 32 ounces bottle with me and I refill it 2-3 times a day. My fridge now has a filter, but I used to just use a Brita filter. Jokes on the people who drink bottled water, cause it's pretty frequently the same on tap. Not mine. Even after running through a good filter it tastes funny. If it sits overnight, it has a putrid smell in the morning. Bottled water can sit open for days with no smell. Occasionally far better, such as in places like Flint, or my old house with high levels of clay and sulfur, and, as we found out when we built a new house and wanted to use the same well, E. coli, well, it